Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we have my buddy Jack Davis in his E36 sedan. This thing is insane. We're gonna do a quick walk around of it. We did this video a long time ago, about 3 years, and I'm gonna go ahead and link it in the top right if you wanna check out. This car has been transformed over these 3 or 4 years, and it is an absolute monster. We're currently out at Hoonigan at their Burnyard at SEMA 2021. Guys, I have a quick dilemma. 95% of you guys are not subscribed who watch the videos. Do me a huge favor, go down, click the subscribe button right now. Let's get into this video.
What's up, guys? I'm Jack Davis. We're here at the SEMA Hoonigan Burnyard. I drive this LS3 supercharged E36. I'm an up-and-coming Formula Drift Pro Spec driver. We currently have 2 licenses. We plan on competing next year, and we won the opportunity to come out here to this awesome event and shred down with the guys at Hoonigan. So we're here in my E36, my sedan, the Old Faithful, and we're just gonna smack this thing into the wall today. I mean, we're just gonna give it all it has. Let's put a show on for the crowd. We have a Vortex supercharged LS3. It's a BTR stage 4 cam, the basic stuff like the Hoonigan upgraded rocker arm kit, stainless valve springs, and yada yada yada. Just the basic LS stuff. And then the Vortex V2 T-trim. I'm running Holley EFI engine management, and my entire fuel system is Deechworks. So I have all injectors, rails, pumps, surge tank, and we're running on pump E85. And at 7 PSI, with our factory 6-rim setup, it makes 631 and 556 wheel torque. I mean, it's plenty for what we're doing. We're running a factory style F-body T56 transmission that's been built by Texas Drivetrain Performance. This engine, I bought it as a long block, and then I assembled it from there. Everything else is the same old as our last setup, because we blew up our LS2 a couple months ago, so we opted to get the LS3. But underneath the hood, I mean, it's pretty basic. We have a rear mount radiator setup that we kind of homemade did, but it works great. 2 catch cans, a sealed and a vented to atmosphere catch can. So yeah, well, the only 2 thing that we have in the front is going to be this core support. And the reason that we went with an aftermarket custom core support is so we could hold the intercooler, the power steering cooler, and the oil cooler a little bit better. So on the factory BMW E36 core support, it's really thin, like flimsy metal, and you really can't hold anything there. So we have this, our good buddy Charles Powell at Momentum Manufacturing made. We cut out the wheel wells for easier access, so like the suspension and the control arms and whatnot. So we got all that cut out. We run a strut tower brace to kind of stiffen everything back up in the front as well. So for suspension, we're running BC custom built external reservoir coilovers front and rear with a old MG Solutions angle kit. It's a little iffy. That's what we run. We're running my Old Faithful carbine design wheels. Those guys have always been really helpful with me and hooked me up with some wheels. We really love these wheels. They look good, they're cheap, and they're really strong. So that's what we run for that. And then for like exterior wise, we're running the Big Duck Club 50 mil over fenders. Same thing for the back, nothing special really. Now I built a bash bar for the rear.
Man, quick release.
Yes sir. So back here we have the Summit Special. Rome Charpentier actually sent us the part numbers and everything for this. So it's just a basic Summit radiator with the high output 4000 CFM derail fans. We run that, and then you can see our concoction of aluminum pipe and flexible radiator hoses for our rear mount. But man, honestly, like, we run a factory pump which flows 55 gallons per minute. We don't run any extra pump on the return line or anything, and we have no issues with this setup. We took really good care as far as how we routed everything and where everything was placed.
So where do these lines go to? So these are your coolant lines that go from the radiator. How do they get to the front?
Well, if you look through here, so we have a solid piece of aluminum pipe here, and then it goes into a flex bend. And then here we have aluminum pipe again as well that go through the rear firewall. So this would be right where your back seat sits. So your backrest, that's where this is.
Okay.
And then we come through here. And then here's our hot and cold, or our feed and our return. That's all wrapped. And this is all aluminum pipe as well. So we tried to keep as much aluminum pipe in the car as possible, just in case like a radiator hose broke. You don't want 200-degree coolant hitting you. So we tried to keep as much hard line in the car as possible. And then it goes into a box enclosure that we built underneath the seats. Comes underneath the seat, underneath the floor pan right here. It comes up through the firewall. So they both come out back here. They run up. One goes into the factory lower thermostat housing, and then our feed comes out of the top. And here we have just like a basic, you know, eBay temperature pressure sensor adapter with a Schrader valve. And this is connected to the factory LS coolant crossover tube, which is very important because this gets rid of steam out of the front of the heads, which is a common LS problem. So it's super simple and everything works really well for how cheap and really how simple we did it. So for the interior, we have the NRG Halo seats, and these are SFI certified. So we run these for all of our Pro Spec shootouts and whatnot, and these are the same seats we're going to run in FD Pro Spec because they are SFI legal. And then here we have the Han specific NRG harnesses. They're thinner up top to fit the Hans and be more comfortable on your shoulders. ASD Hydro handbrake, which is running to a dual caliper setup in the rear. We have a MGW T56 short shifter, and then these are just some custom plates that I made at the house, and then a simple quick car switch panel. And I really like this switch panel because all the fuses are right here, and whenever you turn the switch on, the light lights up. So if you know you have an issue, you can simply check your fuse right here, or I made a relay box in the rear and I can check all of those as well. So we made everything super simple and super easy to work on, and that's one of the big key things into like competitive drifting, because if you can't fix your car quick, you could waste a $2,000–3,000 weekend in a matter of seconds just because you routed one wire in the wrong spot. And then up here we have the Holley 7-inch EFI digital dash that we run with our engine management system, an NRG quick release, and then a Grip Royal steering wheel.
Yeah, my favorite part about his interior are his door panels. So these are actually ABS plastic. So really inexpensive plastic, and he went ahead and trimmed it in exactly the right shape of the door panel. Kept the stock handle, and this is actually a dog collar.
Yeah.
This is actually a dog collar that he got, and he made it his door handle. Super cool little design, and really clean little setups.
So that is an OMP fire suppression system. The FD Pro Spec shootouts that we have competed in before, it's one of the safety requirements that we are required to run. So basically, it's just an onboard fire extinguisher, and then it has all these hard lines going to important spots of the car, such as over the fuel tank, over the engine, over the injector rails, you know, over your fuel pressure regulator, and on the inside cockpit to save the driver. So in the event of a fire, I have a little cable up front next to me, and I am able to pull that cable, and it will effectively release fire retardant all around the chassis. So it'll keep me safe, keep the fuel tank safe, and keep the engine safe, theoretically.
So this thing is plumb. Like, these are all little plumbing, little pipes that carry the fire retardant all to the different points of the car.
And we have a nozzle right here, and this is over the factory fuel pump housing. I have another nozzle up front in front of my shifter, and that one will spray the drivers to keep him from catching on fire. We have another one in the rear that goes over the Beachworks fuel tank. So the surge tank is effectively a small box that is always full of fuel, because in drifting, you're always going left, right, and the G-forces of that can cause the fuel to slosh up on one side of the tank.
So it's essentially a little buffer zone for your fuel to sit if you slosh during a drift. Alrighty, Jack's about to go out for the Hoonigan Burnyard. I'm gonna go get some shots. I'll go ahead and leave a link to his channel in the description below, along with his Instagram. Make sure to go give him a follow and a like. Jack, thank you, buddy, for everything. Dude, go give him a like and a follow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you guys in the next video. Oh, sick.
Sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a